Hi, this is Amy Brown, a realtor with Long and Foster, and I am here with three wonderful people who have lived in Maryland for not a very long time. We're going to be going over the pros and cons of living in Maryland and anything that has surprised them. So we're just going to start with you, Austin.
All right.
Hi there.
So how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
All right. Pros and cons, and just shout it to the microphone so we hopefully will pick up.
All right, I can do that.
Okay.
So I think the pros of living in Maryland is that it's a diverse area, and diverse, I would say, in the actual intent of it being diverse. So I love that from different cultures you have. I would also say that Maryland provides you with a lot of very intelligent people, and people who are very focused and driven by what they do. So that can be very inspiring if you're a person looking to constantly be better at what you do, surrounding yourself with those people. Some of my cons, I would say, about Maryland, I'm from the Chicago area, so it is smaller. So that always makes a difference to me in any place. It's smaller, so a little bit less going on. So that's a little bit harder in that aspect. And then other...
And it's not Chicago.
It's just not Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago is such a prestigious city.
That's right, it is.
And then the other cons, I would say, of living in Maryland, I guess I would say things aren't open as late, but that's also the challenges of when you move from like a bigger city area. But one more pro, I forgot about that, is that you are very close to DC and a lot of other significant cities. So that makes up for some of the places where Maryland lacks.
Okay, thank you. Tim, you're up.
Yeah, pros of living in Maryland include what Austin said about diversity. There's a lot of kinds of people here, both international and then across the entire United States who have moved here. Very educated, very impressive people. You don't have to go very far to be wowed by the kind of things that people do with their career. And so living amongst people who are so impressive is really fun. Another thing that's really great about living in Maryland is that there is topography and land that matches what we see across the whole United States. Our mountains may not be the Rockies, but still the Appalachians cut through. Then you've got lakes and oceans and plains and farmland, and everything that you might see across America is in this small piece of land that is Maryland. And then also regionally, you can get to a lot of places on a drive. Like clearly nothing west, but just think like a day drive to Nashville, New York City, Boston, Atlanta may be a little far, but like you Philadelphia, yeah, like you can hit these places because you're close by. And if not, there's 3 international airports within an hour, so you can fly anywhere internationally fairly easily. The cons of Maryland are 2. One is people here do not understand left-hand turns. It is constantly cut off. The left-hand turn is not permission to get from point A to point B in the easiest route you have. There is order with left-hand turns that involves making sure not cutting off the inside car, not nearly taking out the front of a car that's parked at the light. You've got to go out and around. The other thing in Maryland that drives me up the wall is how many people back into parking spots. Back into parking spots. You do not need to back into that spot. You are holding everyone else up. This is a busy place. Stop backing into spots.
Tim Brown. Note to Tim Brown. Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to say anything about the food scene here?
Yeah, so the good part of the food scene here is that because of the diversity, there's a lot of ethnic foods that are really, really solid. But negatively, for the amount of people who live in the Baltimore, D.C. corridor, we need more chefs doing modern, fusion-style quality restaurants. It is a little too Olive Garden, Cracker Barrel, Applebee's for my taste.
Gretchen. Gretchen is from Michigan and has lived here not that long. What are your
5 months?
5 months. All right. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I grew up in Michigan, and so there are lots of differences. One of them being the weather here has been a huge difference for us. Getting warmer a lot faster has been a huge change. We came from a very snowy state, and so we had snow tires on our car, and people do not know how to drive here in Maryland
Correct.
with the little amount of snow. So was not prepared for things being closed down, for the possibility of snow coming, and then learned that it's not salt on the roads, but it's brine on the roads, and they will brine the roads if there's plan of snow. So that has been a very different. Pros, I have loved the food here. I grew up in Lansing, and so I was used to many different cultures of foods, and if you're here in Maryland, anywhere you go, you can find any type of culture kind of food that you want here in Maryland. Another pro, we have 2 dogs, and there's lots of places to walk our dogs. Patapsco Park is a favorite of ours, and with just lots of dog parks and places that we can walk our dogs, so that's a cool thing. Con is definitely the driving here. I have never been a honker, and since moving to Maryland, I have learned that my horn is a helpful tool because people really just are clueless about other drivers. So I could not imagine being a young kid getting my license here. That would be super terrifying. But other cons, I can't really think
I have
of any
a
other
question, and you may not be able to answer this yet. Who has been across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge?
I believe I have. I think.
It's a big bridge. It's I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible.
I think you're kind of soft.
So you're fine. You have no
Yeah.
problem with the Bay Bridge.
Totally fine, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of small compared to other ones in the country.
Okay. All
It's,
right.
it's pretty okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Those are the pros and cons of living in Maryland. Thank you to Austin, Tim, and Gretchen for your time today.